All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Jack Della Maddalena fight versus the Bassil Hafez fight. That was at UFC Fight Night Home versus Bueno Silva uh, on this past Saturday, July 15th, and that was at the Apex. So basically, let's talk about like before the fight, like how it came together.
Uh-huh.
So basically, Jack Della Maddalena was supposed to fight Sean Brady at 290. Uh, that got canceled. Then they found him a last-minute opponent, Josiah Harrell,
Yep.
and he was supposed to fight him, and that got canceled. So he did like a weight cut, and then 1 week later another weight cut.
Yeah, and he had to prepare for two different opponents.
Yeah, well, three.
Three.
So that was last minute. And yeah, he didn't. There's not much. There wasn't probably much film on Bassil.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's tough. But the fight itself, what do you think? Bassil,
I thought
good. I think it was a good performance by both guys.
Uh-huh.
Bassil, I mean, there wasn't much film on him, but I saw Justin Gaethje tweeted like during the fight when they showed the tweets that he's been training with him for a long time because he trains out of Colorado as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, looking at his record, he has a lot of submissions. So we knew he was a specialist
How many
on the
submissions
ground. I think
does he
like
have?
most of his fights were, a lot of them were submissions. Let's see. So he's 8-4 now,
Uh-huh.
but 4 submissions. Let's see. And there were a lot of.
So 4 submissions and 8 wins.
Yeah, so he's got a 50% submission rate. He has armbar, rear naked choke, Kimura, arm triangle, or triangle
What
choke.
are his
actually.
losses?
His losses are 4 decisions.
4 decisions.
So he was durable. But yeah, in the fight, it was a good fight. I think Jack didn't really know what to expect since he had so many opponent changes, 2 weight cuts. Bassil, obviously, there's a lot of film on Jack. He had 3 fights last year.
And he kind of had no pressure. Just go in there and try to win.
Yeah, it was last minute.
Yeah.
He's making his debut.
Nobody expected him to win anyways.
No, big underdog. He was making his debut, so he just went in like fresh and no pressure. But a lot of people were thinking that it was a robbery. Saw a lot of things on YouTube. A lot of the fighters reacted to it, thought it was a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. What about you?
No, I don't think so either.
So the thing about us, when we were watching that fight, we were actually in like a loud casino. So we couldn't hear the commentary. They weren't playing the commentary. So our view was just the fight. So we were just watching the fight. We couldn't hear. I think it was Dominic Cruz, Cormier.
Yep. And I think Bisping.
No, it was the other
John
head guy.
Anik.
Not John Anik, the other head guy. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was them, and we couldn't hear them. They weren't playing it. So our view was strictly on the fight itself. So that's what we're basing it off of. And yeah, so a lot of people were thinking it was a robbery. I'm thinking just basically off the control time. If we're looking at the stats, the control time, Bassil had 6 minutes and 48 seconds of control time. Jack had 1:19. So that's probably what they're assuming. I'm pretty sure the commentators were making a big deal out of the control time.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And the judging criteria doesn't count control time as
much as damage.
As points anymore.
Yeah. So if you watch, who was it that was talking about that?
MMA Guru
and
the Weasel.
Yeah, if you watch them, they actually read the criteria and they read it. So they broke it down. So if you want to watch their video on it, they broke down, the MMA Guru specifically broke down the criteria, and
the Weasel did too.
Oh, he did too.
Yeah.
How they judge control time and what does it mean to have like a successful takedown and things like that. So if you read that, it makes it clear that damage is more important. And if you look at the strikes, Jack outlanded him by over 100 strikes. So 149 to 48, significant strikes 83 to 32. And what's interesting, if you look at the takedowns, that control time may seem like a lot, but if you look at the takedowns, Jack was 1 out of 2, 50% takedown rate, and Bassil was 3 out of 20.
Yeah.
So he shot in. It seems like every time he was tough. He never got finished. It seems like he was standing in the pocket and he was hitting Jack pretty hard. But it seems like every time
Well,
there was,
Jack was getting the better of the exchanges.
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But he was standing in there with
Yeah.
him. But then it seemed like there was a lot of times where he just shot.
Yeah.
He shot in
When he was in
and
trouble, yeah.
yeah. In the first round, I think I would give that to Bassil, just off the takedowns. He took him down. He controlled him in the first round. With the second round, Jack was winning that, and was that the round where he went for the guillotine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that round he went for the guillotine.
Yeah. I think
He went for the guillotine. He shouldn't have done that.
yeah.
He went straight to his back. That guy's a specialist on the ground. He was going to easily get out of that, and then he held him there.
He kept doing the guillotine. Yeah, he kept going for guillotines.
But if you read the criteria, that's why I think they gave the second round to him, because he did more of the damage on the feet, and it was just that mistake. I mean,
and he was threatening submissions on the ground, which is more effective than just laying on top.
Yeah, Jack was never really in trouble on the ground.
Yeah.
There was a few like arm triangles but it wasn't really too much trouble. And then he was getting the better of the exchanges, and then in the third round, he hurt him.
Yeah.
He had him against the fence. He was hurting him, and then how did it get to the ground?
For which round?
The last round. Oh, so did he knock him down, or how did it get? I remember what I was thinking was, when he had him hurt, don't stay on the ground, let him up.
Yeah.
Because I knew that Bassil would know how to survive on the ground, and then didn't he reversed him on the ground, and he got some more control time. But that round had to be easy lock for Jack, just because all the damage he did before that. So the judges, the scorecards were Camijo 28-29 for Jack, Saldamato 29-28 for Bassil, and Chrisley 28-29 for Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good fight. But I think just based on the criteria, and we were watching without the commentary, so we had
I think a lot of people got persuaded by the commentary.
Because they were figuring that the control was more heavily counted than the actual damage. But I think it couldn't. I think if Jack didn't do those guillotines and kept trying to get the guillotines, I think it wouldn't have been close.
Yeah.
He made it closer with his IQ. He could have. He could have not went for the
guillotines.
Yeah. So in that case, I think that was the only thing that was like a little. If he didn't make those mistakes and he didn't go for the guillotines, I think nobody would have been calling it a robbery.
Yeah.
But just because he had the control time, I think that's what. And obviously the commentary. But just looking. Good. But just looking at the stats, I mean, he outstruck him by 100 strikes.
Yeah.
In the exchanges, he was doing good. And then earlier in the fight, he was getting taken down. It was more, but as the fight went on, I think he was reading those takedowns. He was defending good. So yeah, anything else?
I don't think so.
What do you think about the next fight for these guys?
I think, I think it was a lot more beneficial for Bassil, considering he was expected to get beaten in the first round.
Yeah, I think nothing. I think it was good for him.
He gained a lot of
fans. Stock went up.
Yep. And Jack, I think, is going to stay around the same until his next fight.
Yeah, and you can't really. He fought a guy. I think he was just trying to get a fight.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to fight up in the ranks against Sean Brady. And then I think at that point he was like, all right, just give me anyone last minute. And this guy was undefeated, 7-0. And then he really just wanted to fight the next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on him. And I think Bassil, we'll see how it goes with his next fight. I think he's good. He's big for the weight class. He's strong.
Yeah.
He's good on the ground, but we don't know. Maybe now they have some film on him so they can see. And Jack maybe wasn't. Maybe if Jack had a full camp.
His takedowns are televised.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he
Not
does.
televised. Televised would be like if it was on TV. What is it called?
No, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He televises them. I forgot.
Telegraphs.
Telegraphs them.
Yeah, they're telegraphs. You could see when he wasn't comfortable in the exchanges, that's where he went for the takedown, and Jack was able to read that towards the end of the fight, and that's why he was stuffing him. But yeah, I think we'll see in the next fight. They'll have more film on him, but I think he could do good. What was Jack ranked? 14?
14, yep.
Okay, so I don't know if he'll go up in the ranks, but
no.
But yeah, that was a good fight. It was close. But yeah, I think it was not a robbery like everyone's
No, no,
saying.
no.